Hello and welcome to Scottsdale Garage. Today, Cousin Paul and I attend the Barrett-Jackson Auction in Scottsdale, Arizona. We purchased one-way airline tickets from Eugene, Oregon to Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix, Arizona. The Eugene, Oregon airport is a very nice, small airport that's very easy to get in and out of. We left at 5:15 a.m. Monday morning. We arrived at the Sky Harbor Airport a few hours later and rented a Nissan Sentra. I walked around the Nissan Sentra looking for any damage that the car might have. And at that time, I did not see any damage to the Nissan Sentra. We were 1,309 miles from home and nothing to drive back. So our first stop was to look at a 2007 Chevrolet Silverado that was on Facebook Marketplace. This was a one-owner pickup that had 85,000 miles on it. It had a 4.3-liter V6 engine and automatic transmission. It did not have really any other options. No power windows, no power door locks. The seller was asking $12,500 for the truck, and it was in outstanding condition. It did have a little bit of accident history on the Carfax that we ran on the truck. We felt that the value of the truck was about $10,000 with the V6 engine, so we made him that offer, and he did not take it, and the truck sold later that day. As we were getting in the rental car to leave, I noticed that the grill was broken in the Nissan Sentra, and the emblem was gone. Now, we had not left this car out of our sight, so I know that the damage was done before we got it. The grill was $581 and another couple $100 for the emblem. We weren't sure what to do at that point, so we continued on. So on Monday, we didn't have much success at finding a truck to drive home. We called on many, and they were sold. We even looked at a Ford Ranger, and that was not really what we wanted. We wanted an old Chevrolet C10 if we could find one. Tuesday morning, we went out to the Barrett-Jackson Auction. The mornings were brisk, but the afternoons were very nice, about 65 degrees. In the manufacturer's midway, as soon as we entered the building, there were some really awesome vehicles such as this Jeep with 1,000 horsepower on tracks. Quite the machine. It had a snowcat in the back of some sort that seemed to be electric powered. The crowds were fairly large for a Tuesday morning. I even ran into a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for many, many years. We were on the volunteer fire department for many years ago. Although not cheap, the food there was amazing. Chicken, hot dogs, plenty of Southwest style food. And the booze, well, it was everywhere. Not sure you could afford to drink it, but they had plenty of it. One of the first cars I really looked at was this 1962 Chevrolet Biscayne. This car was an original type car survivor with a 235 six-cylinder engine and a 3-speed manual transmission on the column. The car was in very, very nice shape, and it was lowered down with a set of redline tires on it and the factory hubcaps on it, and I believe it was probably a 7 or 8 inch wheel. The car was very nice, and it sold for, I believe, $18,000. A very neat car. We also looked at this 1958 Chevrolet Apache that was on display, but also for sale. $469,000. But this truck was absolutely unbelievable with the LS engine, the fuel injection, and all the modern conveniences, cameras, etc. and stuff that Delmo Ashenko builds out of Prescott, Arizona. Go to his website and check out the trucks. They are unbelievable. We then looked at this 1935 Ford Roadster that was absolutely beautiful. This car did sell later in the day for well over $100,000. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was a beautiful car. And this 1967 Chevrolet Caprice with a 427 in it, SS. The hood on it, you can see, has a single hood scoop. Pretty cool. The 69 Camaro Z28 here was in absolutely as new condition. Red with the Goodyear polyglass tires and the 302 engine that was restored back to completely original. 67 through 72 Chevrolet C10 trucks, short beds especially, lowered down, were everywhere. And the build quality of these trucks were over the top. Just beautiful. Leather interior, billet, everything you could imagine. Most of them had LS engines and just fantastic shape. The prices range from anywhere between $75,000 and approaching $300,000. Beautiful trucks. 1935 Ford Roadsters are a very rare car, and they had two of them on display for sale here at Barrett-Jackson. And this stunning example also brought well north of $100,000. And I believe it was approaching $200,000, but I didn't get the exact price on it. Well, our day was done at Barrett-Jackson, and our search was on. We were still looking for a ride home. I called the owner of this truck and scheduled a time to look at it after the auction at the end of the day there. However, he called me before the end of the auction and said that the truck had been sold. It had been on there for 19 weeks. What kind of luck were we having? Also called on this little Chevrolet HHR SS. It was very nice shape, but we couldn't make a deal on it. I also called on this 2002 Chevrolet Silverado for $8,500, but it had already sold. So I did call on this little short bed stepside here that had a 6-liter LQ9 Escalade motor in it swapped out with a big camshaft and headers and a bunch of other things on it. And it was a pretty rowdy sounding little truck. I took it out and drove it, and that 6-liter hammered down pretty doggone good. Would really light up the tires. However, the quality of work on this truck was a little sketchy. I didn't like the way the fuel lines were run and some of the other things on it. And I was just a little afraid that, 300-400 miles away from Vegas, out in the middle of the desert somewheres, and this thing would be to catch fire from the fuel lines, we'd have a serious problem on our hands. So I decided to pass on that truck. Actually, I did make an offer on it. I did offer him $6,500 for the truck, and I figured we could make a few repairs before we left if we needed to. But he did not take my offer. A couple of miles down the road, I spotted this little short bed with a for sale sign in the window, and he was asking $6,500 for it at this tire shop. We turned around quickly and took a look at the truck. It had a little dent here in the left front fender that could easily be repaired by paintless dent repair. So we talked to the owner of the truck, was a very nice guy. He owned the tire shop, and he had bought the truck for his daughter, and his daughter didn't like it. She thought it was too big for her. The interior in the truck was very nice. No power windows, but it did have power door locks. Equipped with a V6 engine, automatic transmission, air conditioning, and cruise control. That was something that we would need on the way home. Took a drive with the truck, and it drove out very nice. No issues, no problems, no check engine light. We tried to negotiate with the seller, and he would not budge. He wouldn't come down $1. However, he did throw in a JVC dual-din stereo system that he had bought for the truck. So we shook hands and paid the man in cash, and we were on our way. So here's a Waymo driverless car. They're all over down here, Jaguars, all over the place. Well, I returned the rental car with the broken grille and the missing emblem, and I hoped for my best. They checked it in and did not note any damage, so hopefully I don't hear anything from them. No news is good news. And we started our trip home, 1,309 miles, a 20-hour drive. We decided that we would head towards Las Vegas. The evening sun was absolutely beautiful. It was a beautiful drive. Paul cranked up the old V6, and his goal was 100 miles an hour. Well, we hit 99 miles an hour, and she shut her down there. Rolled into Las Vegas, and we were planning to stay the night, but we just couldn't find a room that would suit us for $200, whatever it was. And we just decided, you know what, let's keep on rolling. So we rolled on through Las Vegas, headed towards Reno. I took the driving over about midnight and ran until 6 a.m. Rolled into Reno, on out towards Mount Shasta and McLeod area. Absolutely a beautiful drive. And the old Silverado was just doing awesome. The little V6 never skipped a beat. It was decent on fuel. I think we were going about 18 to 20 miles per gallon, and we were going about 70 to 75 miles an hour most of the way there. Well, we planned on selling the truck when we got home, but Paul had other plans. He liked the truck and decided that he wanted to keep it. I had a set of 20-inch wheels and tires that we installed on the truck, and it looks pretty doggone good. Paul's going to make it a little driver. Well, we sure had a lot of fun going down to Barrett-Jackson, and flying down there with one-way tickets and trying to find a truck to buy was challenging. At times, I thought maybe we were in over our head and we may be getting a plane ticket to fly home. But we kept trying harder and harder, and we finally found the truck. The best place looking for a truck was Mesa, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona just didn't have the older trucks around like we thought it would have had. But out in Mesa, there was a lot of these trucks. We had a great time. And the drive home, well, we didn't really plan on just driving straight through, but it kind of worked out that way. And it was still a lot of fun and a lot of good memories. If you ever get a chance to do something like this, I encourage you to do so. It's just something that we'll remember forever. And this is the second time we've done that. And if you would, please, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And we'll catch you next time at Rusty Garage.